Hello, Mr. Chu here with Tray Arithmetic. We're going to talk about solving mixed numbers when you stack them up vertically and leave them as mixed numbers, finding the LCD, and these are the challenge problems. I already introduced how to do this, and these are the problems I ask students to work. Make sure if you like my videos, give it a thumbs up and like it. You can also subscribe down here so that you can see more of my math videos. All right. So in problem 1, you have to find the least common denominator. When I did these earlier, we changed them to improper fractions, and then we found a common denominator, 4 times 12. But there's a much easier way that sometimes makes it easier to simplify them. So what you do is you either have to change the 4 to a 12 or change them both to a number that's the same. And one way that I taught students how to find an LCD was to take the denominators and write them in a series until you have the smallest number that is the same in both. So I can take the 4, that's 4 times 1. Now 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, and sometimes you have to go farther. Take the other one, and since 12 times 1 is 12, and they are the same, that is the LCD. So, what do you multiply by 4 to make it a 12? Well, count over 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to take the 3/4 and multiply it by 3 over 3. Because you always have to multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. Remember, we are doing these without a calculator. Anybody can push the buttons. But when you move up to your algebra class and there are X's in here, you have to understand how to do it, and this is how we teach it. So this number becomes 4, and 3 times 3 is 9, over 4 times 3 is 12. This number stayed the same. When I have a common denominator now, I can add down. So your 4 and your 2, 6, those are your whole numbers. 9 plus 5 is 14 twelfths. Now 14 twelfths is a special fraction that is called an improper fraction. And you're going to have to change this. So 6 and 14 twelfths actually means 6 plus 14 twelfths. That's what it means. Now 14 twelfths ends up being 1 and 2 twelfths. Now 2 twelfths can be reduced to 1/6. And then if I add 1/6, 1 and 1/6 to 6, I get 7 and 1/6. And that is my answer. So up here, I could just write 7 and 1/6. And this gives me that answer. All right? All right. Now, on challenge 2, let's do the same thing as far as finding the LCD. So remember how you did that. You take the 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24, and you may have to go farther. But let's try and see if we can get the same number repeating. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. There it is. 24 is the LCD. So, what do you multiply by 6 to get a 24? Well, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to multiply the 1/6 by 4 over 4 because you're multiplying by 1. What do you multiply the 8 by? Count them. 1, 2, 3. You got your 8 times 3, you get 24. Your 6 times 4. So just this whole number carried over is 5. 1 times 4 is 4 24ths. And then this is subtracting 3 and 9 24ths. Well, just like in the example that we did, the second example, you can't take 9 from 4, so you're going to have to borrow. So when we borrow, we're borrowing 1 from the 5, so that becomes a 4. And we're adding 1, which is 24 over 24, because it has to be a common denominator. Have to have the common denominators when you add them. So I'm going to rewrite this in red underneath here. So it's 4, and 4 plus 24 is 28 24ths minus 3 and 9 24ths. 4 minus 3 is 1. 28 minus 9, because I have the same denominator, is 19 24ths. So my answer to this problem is 1 and 19 24ths. So right there in the black box is the answer to that, stacked up vertically, finding the LCD. Make sure if you need to go back to your original to see more examples, there will be a link up here. Down here will be a link of all our other tray arithmetic fraction videos that I've made. I'm Mr. Chu, and I am wearing my Indiana State University shirt and hat, and Mr. Chu wants to help you learn how to do fractions. So we'll see you in the next video, and I appreciate you watching. Like this and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.